name is Cassidy Haley, and today I'm going to be talking about gang-related violence. In a typical year in the so-called gang capitals of Chicago and Los Angeles, around half of all homicides are gang-related. These two cities alone accounted for approximately 1 in 4 gang homicides recorded in the NYGS from 2011 to 2012. There's gangs in every state, and gang members are growing, with many being young adults. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, street gangs are a significant threat to public safety. I've heard firsthand stories from a former gang member and the family members and the effect it had on the family and the violence that was involved. Gang-related violence is a huge social problem and needs to be addressed due to the devastating outcomes that is experienced. Gang violence has multiple problems, including substance abuse, breaking up families, and high murder rates. Many families break up due to the fact that there is so much violence when you're involved in a gang. Youth are easily added to gangs because gangs are seen as families. And these kids, once they get involved in these gangs, sometimes turn their back on their own families. Many members of a family are involved in one gang, and this is seen as the path that the kids are supposed to take. If they don't take it, then they could be disowned or even worse. The article Family Gangs and the Gang as Family says Sanchez-Jankowski reported that many gang members told him that their families had a long history of gang involvement that included older brothers and, in a considerable amount of cases, fathers and grandfathers. An unfortunate case is when family members are in different gangs. It leads them to not be able to have any celebrations or get-togethers due to the trouble that could arise. In many cases, kids join gangs due to the fact of the home life and trouble that they have experienced. Gang involvement can lead to alcoholism, drug addiction, and violence. And many kids think this is okay because many have experienced it through their own family members or their home life. This substance abuse can lead to an increase in delinquency and violence. Gangs lead to substance abuse to prove their masculinity and also their manly togetherness. Partying is a huge part of gang life, and these parties always include drugs and alcohol. When the drugs and alcohol are there, all members are expected to attend these parties and to take part in the drugs and alcohol. As stated by the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, partying overlaps with gang members hanging out, and gang members party both at public dance places, bars, and parks in the neighborhood, or at private parties held in hotel rooms or at someone's home or garage. Gang members hang out most days either to just talk, do business, or even just to go and handle drug deals. Gang members and people who are involved with gangs are involved in much more serious and violent crimes than the people who are not associated with any kind of gang. Gang initiations are another unfortunate case where they are either jumped in, which is where they will surround them in a circle and beat them up, or they will have to commit a felony. And many of these felonies that they have to commit most of the time is murder. When somebody is in a gang, they're expected to do whatever job they are given, and if they don't, they will either get punished or depending on the severity of it, they could get killed by the other gang members. Gang members murder people due to either for money, drugs, or even to support their reputations. There is a higher number of gang murders in highly populated areas due to the fact that there are more gangs in the area. As stated by the National Gang Center, the number of gang-related homicides decreased 2% from 2010 to 2011. Then it increased by 28% from 2011 to 2012 in cities with a population higher than 100,000. Gang violence is more centered in the largest cities in the U.S. Gang violence is something that everybody should try to prevent and avoid due to the devastating outcomes that are involved with it. There is no way for anybody to say that they are not going to be affected by gang violence because they can never be sure. There is problems that can arise from gang violence, and those problems include higher murder rates, substance abuse, and even having too many family problems. If you're worried that somebody, or if you're not worried about this problem, then think about how easily kids are peer pressured and convinced to do something, and then think about your own kids or your nephews or even family friends. And if you believe that anybody you know is involved in a gang, then try to help them to understand the serious and devastating outcomes that could affect them or even the people that they care about.